Puppets are but strings bound to another man's ego. That's what a puppet is, right? Puppets are but strings bound to another man's ego. Thank goodness that my mother, God rest her soul, taught me a long time ago not to be someone else's puppet. Meaning not to let someone else control me or anything that I do or anything that I become in life, or will me to be the person that they want me to be. Usually when we are strung to another person, we're their puppet. When they move, they move. When they sit down, we sit. When they say quiet, we be quiet. When they fail, we fail. See how detrimental that is to your well-being, to your very life, the detriment that can cause in your life. Something about being a puppet, right? Because you have the puppeteer, right? The person that's stringing you along, and this could be in love relationships. It could be on your job. It can just be in life in general. When we allow ourselves to become someone else's puppet, we lose our own lives, right? We lose our own individuality. We start becoming someone else that another person wants for us to be. We're no longer ourselves. We're no longer blossoming and blooming into the person that we're meant to become because we are the puppet of another person. Someone else is controlling our every move. And for a lot of people, their every thought. There's a lot of people that don't make choices without thinking if so-and-so is going to be happy with their choice. Although the choice has nothing to do with so-and-so over there, the puppet or the person that has allowed themselves to become the puppet can't make the decision without thinking, well, is so-and-so going to like my choice? Or what if I do this? Is so-and-so going to dislike me for doing this? Or are they going to ice me out or not talk to me because I decided to do this? Because when we allow ourselves to become puppets of another person, in essence, their mind is thinking for us. See how dangerous that is? It becomes even more so dangerous when we connect ourselves or become attached to people who are loveless people. Because we've attached ourselves so much so to where if they tell us to jump, we're jumping. If they tell us to beg, we're begging. If they don't love us, we're not loving ourselves. And see, when you attach yourself to people and you're not operating in your own individuality, you're taking what that person gives you. And oftentimes, people can't give you what they don't have. Remember that. People can't give you what they don't have. So if you've connected yourself to a loveless person or a thoughtless person or a selfish person, and they're controlling your every move, your every thought, your heart's posture, that's what you are going to become. You're going to operate like that. If they're selfish, you're going to become selfish, even if you weren't before, because you're allowing a selfish person to control you with strings. So in essence, they're teaching you how to be, what to say, what to become. So that's how dangerous it is. And to be honest, my mother would say all the time how stubborn I was. I was almost rebellious. I can honestly say that. It's not something that I'm proud of now. As a teenager, we don't listen. We think we know everything and don't know nothing. Out there floating along, thinking we know everything and clueless, don't know a thing. And my mother would often say, "You're so stubborn. Stop being rebellious," because I was, But there were so many things that I learned from that she taught me as a girl that I'm utilizing today. And I thank God for my stubbornness, because a lot of people tried to take me and mold me into who they wanted me to be, into the person they saw me being, instead of the person that God wanted me to be. And if I had allowed that, I would have been a puppet and someone else would be my puppeteer. But that's not the life that God created for me. That's not the life that God created for you, because if you were born, and I take it you are, you're watching this video, you have unique fingerprints, right? You have unique DNA. Every fiber of your being is different from another person. So that means that you're unique. You're an individual with talents and skills and love that this world needs. If you mute that, you're giving your voice, your heart, your talent to someone else, and you're allowing them to showcase who you are for you. But remember when I said people can't give you what they don't have. So if you are allowing a puppeteer to showcase who you are for you, you may not have chosen the best puppeteer. Let's face it, not everybody is kind or thoughtful or loving or giving. There's a lot of cold, cruel, narcissistic, selfish people in the world. Those things, people like that I often say people like that are yet sick minds in need of healing. People like that are sick minds in need of healing, and you don't want to connect yourself to a mind that's sick, to a heart that's hatred, right? Because a puppet is yet strings bound to another man's ego. That's something my mother taught me long time ago. Like I said, they move, you move. They fall, you fall. Most of the time, though, when they succeed, you're not succeeding. Because most puppeteers don't play that game. They don't play like that. Most puppeteers don't play fair. As long as they're going down, you're going down too, because you've attached yourself to them. And you don't move, you don't operate unless they say so, or unless they give you permission to do so. However, when they go down, you go down as well. But when they go up, most of the times, they're not taking you up with them, because that's not the heart of a puppeteer. And we can't put the blame on the puppeteer all the time, although a lot of people are very skilled and crafty. They make it their purpose to pull people in, to keep them bound. A lot of people are very, very skilled in that. People like that we've heard the terms narcissistic or, psychopaths, people like that. But we can't always blame the puppeteer, because some puppeteers are just operating, doing what they're meant to do in life. They have people connect themselves to them without them even asking, without them doing a thing. And that's because the puppet that has connected itself to the puppeteer is so in need of validation, is so in need of someone to like them or someone to see them, because they can't see themselves. That's where mirror work comes into play. We got to get in the mirror, see ourselves for who we are. If there's something there that we don't like in here or in here, we have the power to change it. We're positioned to change it. But a lot of puppets connect themselves unknowingly to puppeteers because they're not in love with themselves. They don't love who they are. That's the detriment, the danger of being someone else's puppet. Because like I said, we're not meant to do so. Everybody's meant to live their own individual lives, right? Because we're individuals. We're born from different mothers, born at different times. Unless you're twins, but yet you're still individuals because your fingerprints are different. Everything about us is different, which makes us unique in our own very way. And if we mute that by allowing someone else to speak for us or to think for us, right? To be passionate for us, we mute ourselves. We mute our very ability to live our own lives, to leave our own footprints in the sand, in the soil of the earth, right? We mute our own ability to write our own stories, to paint our own masterpieces when we connect ourselves with puppeteers. That's why getting in the mirror is so important. I cannot stress that enough. I can't stress that enough. Please, please, please get in the mirror. If there's something about yourself that you don't like, when it's on a mental level or a heart level, do the work. Know that you have the right, every right to change it for the better, right? No one else can change us for us. That's a job that belongs to us. So it's something that we have got to do. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Puppets are but strings bound, that's a very strong word, bound to another man's ego. So when you're bound, what does that mean? That means you're held captive. You're strung along to and fro, being tossed everywhere they want you to go. You're not moving on your own. You're not flowing and being the being that you're meant to be when you allow yourself to be the puppet of another man. So I love you all so much, and no puppets. Be who you are meant to be. And that simply means being your best self, being the best version of yourself. That's all that saying means, being the best version of yourself. So I'm Katie Gates, and thank you so much for joining me. If you like the video, leave me a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I love you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day.